Greetings, everyone. Hey, we made it. We're on the last shelf. Oh my god, it's only taken 5 weeks to get here. But yes, the final shelf. Not the final video, but the final shelf of the overview. This time it's an all DVD standard definition extravaganza. Yeah, we got some good stuff on there, actually. I think you'll be quite, well, you can probably see most of it from where you are, but don't look. No peeking. Come on, it's supposed to be a surprise. Alright, let's zip on down to shelf number 5. Today on the Multimedia Chronicles, Fright Night Fridays. Welcome back. Alright, no more teasing. Let's do it. Shelf 5. Hello. Yes, I can't bend over this far, so we're actually sitting on the floor now. Okay, so starting from over here. Oh boy. Yeah, you've seen this progress over the course of time here. So let's see. First off, we've got so this is all DVD. This is the last of the DVDs here. So we got the Evil Dead Ultimate Edition. So this is like a really nice 3-disc edition. Has tons of extras. Then we've got the Book of the Dead edition of the original Evil Dead. As you can see, still very much intact. Very nice. Oh shit! As I destroy everything. Let's. Sorry, just. It's okay. The little booklet just fell out. It's all good. It's okay. We're all fine here. All right, and then I cannot say the same for the Evil Dead 2 Book of the Dead. The rubber has begun to dry and split, and it's just falling apart like crazy. The little screaming eye thing doesn't scream anymore. It's so depressing. Yeah, I guess they use slightly cheaper rubber for that. I don't know. And then, of course, I have the Bruce Campbell versus Army of Darkness Boomstick Edition. Now, some of you may be wondering, well, hey, Sean, why are you bothering to keep those when you now have all of these? Got the Evil Dead Blu-ray, Evil Dead 2 Blu-ray, the Army of Darkness Blu-ray. Well, the simple fact of the matter is, I mean, first off, these two are cool collector's editions. This has some extras that are not on the Evil Dead set, the Blu-ray set, and cool collector's edition. That's pretty much it in a nutshell. I mean, any Evil Dead fan who collects the movies will tell you, essentially, if you truly want to have everything, like all the extras and all the alternate cuts and everything, you essentially need to have at least 2 editions of every movie, if not more. I'm pretty sure that across the editions I've got, I have pretty much... Sorry, dropped it on the mic. Pretty much everything worthy of note there, so I'm not too concerned about it. God, I mean, there's just... Well, once that happens to this, I mean, there's nothing you can do about it. It's just the rubber has dried and flaked, and you're fucked, basically. Next up, I've done videos about all these, by the way. Next up, we got Children Shouldn't Play with Dead Things, which I got as there was a YouTuber who was actually just giving away a bunch of stuff from his collection and said, yeah, just send me a list of what you want and I'll send it to you. I'm like, okay, cool. So I had heard of this one. I'd never seen it. So he sent it to me, and I just fell in love with this movie. It's just the ultimate bit of low-budget cheese. It's so much fun. I reviewed it a few years back. This is the 35th anniversary exhumed edition from VCI Entertainment, not to be confused with BCI Eclipse, the long out of circulation company. Next up, we've got The Serpent and the Rainbow. I'll probably be sending this DVD edition to somebody because Scream Factory is actually putting out a collector's edition Blu-ray. So I want to get that and upgrade it, basically. Very cool. This is one of Skin Slip's all-time favorite Wes Craven movies, by the way. Just kind of random thing there. And we got a couple of Region 2 releases here. Or actually, I think one's Region 2, one's Region 4, if I'm not mistaken. So we got Theater of Blood with Vincent Price and Dana Rigg. Very, very cool. I'm a sucker for anything Vincent Price, so yeah, enough said. And then we have Roman Polanski's The Tenant. There you go. So, very cool stuff. Yeah, kind of a nice eclectic collection. And we'll just pair these two together here. We got Plan 9 from Outer Space with a bonus show, The Ed Wood Story. And the bonus show is basically a collection of interviews. It has interviews with some of the primary cast and whatnot who were still alive at the time. And then, of course, we've got the Tim Burton Ed Wood movie, which is wonderful. I should mention I also actually do have a box set of Ed Wood, which includes another edition of Plan 9 from Outer Space, which is actually better than this edition, as well as several of his other movies and like a 2-hour documentary about him and stuff like that. I will show that in the box sets section next week, so stay tuned for that. And we got a nice little Val Lewton double bill here. We got I Walked with a Zombie and The Body Snatcher. Pretty cool. I've watched The Body Snatcher because I'm a sucker for anything with Boris Karloff in it. I have not watched I Walked with a Zombie yet. There was another double feature in this same collection that had the 2 original Cat People movie, which I kept meaning to pick up, but I just never got around to it. And this was sent to me by Stoudman a while back. We got Van Helsing, The London Assignment. So this is a tie-in, of course, with the movie Van Helsing. Even has the voice of Hugh Jackman as the lead character in this. So it's basically an animated prequel to the movie, and not very long. It's 33 minutes. Yeah, there you go. So this kind of ties into the beginning of the movie and gives you some backstory and stuff like that. Now, last time I mentioned that the only Predator movie I have on Blu-ray is Predators, which I really liked, by the way. I don't think I mentioned that, but yes, I really liked Predators. Did not like Aliens vs. Predator, which I've done videos about, and you'll notice I no longer have on Blu-ray. I'll probably get them eventually just for completion's sake, but only if I get them really, really cheap. So, until a proper Blu-ray edition comes out, I will be keeping these. We have the collector's edition of Predator and the collector's edition of Predator 2. Now, as far as DVD editions go, these are the best ones to get, bar none. They have loads of extras and behind-the-scenes stuff, and they're just really, really cool editions with easily with the most extras that have ever been released. Now, the Predator Ultimate Hunter edition on Blu-ray includes pretty much all the extras from this, but the transfer for the Ultimate Hunter Blu-ray, like for the movie itself, is god-awful, and just avoid. Do not waste your money on that piece of crap. Seriously, do not give the studios your money when they fuck you over like that. And here we have the Ghastly Love of Johnny X, autographed by the director, Mr. Paul Bunnell himself. Paul Bunnell is a really cool guy, independent film director. He's worked in the industry for years. I've, basically been chums with him on Facebook ever since he sent me this to review a few years back. And just a really, really cool guy. Very enthusiastic about all things film, and certainly about his film, and great stuff. And this is just kind of his love letter to horror movies and alien invasion movies and stuff. Very much has a 50s horror vibe to it, and it's just a lot of fun. And it's kind of a musical too. It's just a completely insane movie, and you should definitely check it out if you get the chance. And then here, this is a big collection, so we're just going to pull the whole thing out. We've got Nick Knight, starring Rick Springfield as a vampire cop. Basically a vampire trying to make amends for his evil ways in the past by doing good as a cop on the night shift. And there we go. So I guess the TV movie did moderately well, because then, a few years later, it was turned into a TV series known as Forever Knight. And Forever Knight still has quite an avid fan following to this day. It's really good. Like, when I first heard the concept of it, a vampire cop, really? I thought, wow, that sounds like the stupidest thing ever. But then I actually watched the show. I didn't actually see it until it was in its third season. I saw a few random first season episodes and then completely missed the second season. And then saw a few, and then started watching it fairly regularly with the third season, and I really came to like it. I thought, wow, I've been completely wrong about this show the whole time. It's actually incredibly well done. And it does have a proper ending to it, so it has a beginning, middle, and end. So rest assured you will not be left hanging. Some fans would beg to differ and feel that it is an open ending in some way, but I think that's just wishful thinking on their part. I'd say it's a pretty final end, but yeah. So anyway, it's really good. Good luck finding them. These season sets are pretty hard to find now. You usually get seasons 1 and 2 fairly cheap. Season 3, I guess, had a much lower print run. I remember it was a few years between the releases of seasons 2 and 3. So good luck getting that for a decent price. And speaking of getting things for a decent price, we got the Ray Bradbury Theater, the complete series, all 65 episodes. Now, that's awesome. It's great that they put out a complete series set. However, it's 65 episodes on a stack of discs stacked on a spindle, and then there's 13 episodes crammed onto every disc. So needless to say, pixelation abounds. Holy crap, man. There's so much pixelation, because a lot of these the early episodes anyway were on like specialty channels like HBO and stuff like that, so they run a full half hour. So that's like full half hour episodes crammed 13 per disc. There's just compression artifacting up the yin yang, but it's all we've got. And that said, you can usually find this set for about $5. So 65 episodes for $5. Hey, you can't go wrong there. So good stuff. Then we've got, this is a Canadian DVD release. We've got season 1 and season 2 of The Hunger. Now, contrary to the covers, it's not a strictly vampire series. The Hunger, of course, the title is based on the movie from the early 80s called The Hunger, which was a vampire movie starring Susan Sarandon and David Bowie. This is really no relation to that. It's basically an anthology horror series and stuff like that. The first season is hosted by Terrence Stamp, and in a further connection to the old movie, the second season is hosted by David Bowie. So, pretty cool. I've only watched a few episodes of it. I kind of picked it up as a blind buy, just because I love anthology horror, and who doesn't love Terrence Stamp and David Bowie? So, yeah. And I liked what I saw. I will watch more. They're kind of sexy horror stories, so expect a little bit of raciness in there. And then we got The Crow, Stairway to Heaven. I think I talked about this a fair amount when I first got it. I really like this series a lot. I think I still need to watch the last few episodes. I watched most of them. But this stars the guy who is in that Iron Chef show. What's his name? Mark Dacascos? Something like that? Yeah, Mark Dacascos. He's the, I want to say the governor, not the governor. You know, anyway, the guy who hosts Iron Chef. Anyway, that's him. He was Eric Draven in the Crow TV series. Surprisingly good TV series, actually. Was quite pleasantly surprised. Then we have Todd and the Book of Pure Evil. This series is absolutely hilarious. I power marathoned this when it was sent to me originally by a very generous viewer. Really, really enjoyed this show a lot. Sadly, the 2 seasons you see here are all they ever produced. There was talk of doing a 3rd season on like some kind of streaming service or something like that, but I don't think it ever happened. So that is all we have. There's been a few DVD releases of this. Yeah, so definitely recommend Todd and the Book of Pure Evil. It's basically just a lot of fun comedy, supernatural comedy horror. Then we have American Gothic, which is a really, really good, creepy, dark series. A bit of Americana with a dark underside. The sheriff of the small town literally may be the devil. And it's good stuff. Now, one thing to warn you about, this particular series set, the episodes are all out of order. Some of them are in the right order, most of them aren't. There are episode guides you can get online that'll actually tell you the correct, preferred viewing order. There is a continuity, so if you're watching them in the order they're on the discs, you might be messing up the continuity a little bit. Then, as I said, horror or horror-related, here we have The Addams Family. This is the complete series of The Addams Family. We've Got it doesn't really divide it by season. It does it by volumes. So we've got volume 1, the complete first volume, the complete second volume. That's very odd. Why would you get an incomplete volume? Season, I can understand. So anyway, that's the whole series of the Addams Family. Gotta love that. I don't presently own the movies, the ones with Raul Julia. I really like the movies, though. I've not seen much of what followed. There was an animated series that came out around the time of the Raul Julia movies, and I saw quite a few episodes of that, and I enjoyed that one. They even got the voice of John Astin back for the to do Gomez. And then here a couple of DVDs of the Munsters. I still need to pick up the complete series set. I should really get on that. So we got the 2 theatrical movies that they did. We've got what is it? Munster Go Home and The Munsters Revenge. Lots of fun. Rosie and I watched Munsters Go Home and enjoyed that very much. And then the Munsters Family Portrait, which is this is a really odd one. It's basically just an episode of the show presented in its original black and white form, and then also presented in color. So they colorized it. So it's like a single episode colorized. Why? I mean, first off, why would you colorize it? And second off, why would you release a DVD with just one episode on it? Yeah, luckily that was the bargain bin title. I think it was literally like $2, so I'm not too broken up about it. And here we got Roseanne Tricks and Treats. I still need to, I need to get the complete series of Roseanne again. I ended up selling all my season sets a while back and haven't got around to replacing them. But hey, for Halloween, I got it covered, man. So this is all 8 of the Halloween episodes that they did. They didn't do one for season 1, so it's seasons 2 through 9, basically. They did a Halloween episode every year. Roseanne did some of the greatest Halloween episodes ever, and they're just so much fun. Really, really good stuff. And another one that did really good Halloween episodes actually was Home Improvement. I always really enjoyed theirs. Next up we have A Haunting. I talked about this when I first got it. This set contains the first, 6? Yes. Seasons 1 through 6. The complete seasons 1 through 6. And I got it for $25, brand new. That's a pretty damn good deal. $25 for 6 seasons of A Haunting. And take a look at this. I mean, it's all... like, there's no cheap packaging here. Like, these are all the discs are on their own individual trays and everything, and it's great. And they just put out a season 7 set as well, which I should pick up. Yeah, don't watch this really late at night. I have done that on occasion, and then been laying in bed freaked out. Then next we have, this is from another one from Jedzia, actually. We have The Outer Limits, Season 1. This, of course, is the 90s series, which was extremely well done, I have to say. I really need to pick up the other seasons of this. I used to watch it a fair amount when it was on TV, and it'd be great to see some of those episodes again. But really good stuff. Love The Outer Limits. I'd also really like to get the original. I don't think I've ever actually watched the original series. Next up, yeah, you guys have seen these quite a few times before. I've shown them a number of times over the years. So we got Dracula, the Legacy Collection. These have since been supplanted by other editions. They've got other Legacy Collections out now. So we got Frankenstein, we got the Wolfman. This is, I mean, if you only get 3 of them, here you go. This is the trifecta right here. And these were the ones that crossed over with each other and whatnot. And it was mostly Frankenstein that had like a big continuity to the ones to the movies. Wolfman really didn't. Dracula really didn't. I mean, there were other Dracula movies and Wolfman movies, but for the most part, Frankenstein was the only one that sort of maintained continuity across the sequels. And another one that did that actually was The Mummy. Yes, we got the Mummy Legacy Collection as well. Now, this one also maintained very tight continuity across the sequels. There was 5 Mummy movies total. However, they did not cross over with any of the other monster movies. They were just kind of its own thing. And then we have The Invisible Man, which kind of has its own continuity. I guess through the first 2 or 3 anyway. And then finally we have The Creature from the Black Lagoon, which was basically a trilogy which very much does have its own continuity. I mention that because I think it's cool when horror series like this, especially from these early days, actually do have a continuity to them and kind of connect together and stuff. So very, very cool. Now, these have since been essentially replaced by newer editions, which have slightly better remastering on the the core movies. There's been a Blu-ray edition of the 8 core movies as well, which I really want to pick up. There's a 30 movie collection, which includes all the movies that are in this set, plus 2 or 3 more. So that's pretty cool. And best of all, the newer editions don't use flipper discs. These ones have a bunch of flipper discs in them, so it's not all flipper discs, but it's like kind of half and half. Then we've got the Boris Karloff collection, which has just kind of a selection of Boris Karloff Universal movies. What have we got here? We've got Night Key, Tower of London, The Climax, The Strange Door, and The Black Castle. And there you go. So it's pretty cool, rare Karloff movies there. Good stuff. They did a Bela Lugosi collection as well, which I keep meaning to pick up and keep forgetting. So I'll need to get on that one of these days. Then we got Near Dark, the super duper special edition. This was sent to me by a very generous viewer, Dr. Brill, I believe, who's the same fellow who sent me Riot, which you saw way back many weeks ago in part 1 of this overview that never seems to end. The one he sent me was faulty. It had like one of the discs was the wrong disc, and apparently that was a known issue. Like a whole bunch of sets went out with that wrong disc, and he just happened to get one of them. So he sent it to me again, making sure it was the correct disc this time. So very cool. Thank you very much, Dr. Brill, for being so diligent in your efforts. And then here we go, another gift from a viewer. We have the Region 2 edition, 2-disc special edition, actually, of Creepshow and Creepshow 2. Hold on a second, let's get rid of the glare there. There we go, that's a little better. So this is pretty cool. It has a slipcase that, and then inside it has just the regular cover. It looks like one of the old EC horror comics. I mean, the Creepshow movies are just a total love letter to those EC horror comics of yesteryear and stuff like that. And there we go. That is the end of shelf number 5. Take a final look. And there you have it. Yeah, some pretty cool stuff on there, I gotta say. I'm particularly proud of having the Forever Night collection there. Especially since when I bought Season 3, it was when it was already long out of print and generally going for collector's prices, but I kind of lucked out and I got it for a good price. So that's pretty cool. Having, of course, the Universal Monsters Legacy collections, which I've talked about a number of times in the past. Love those sets. It has since been surpassed in terms of content by the complete Universal Monsters collection, which has basically everything that's in these sets, plus a couple more movies. I think it generally goes for about $100. I did a video a while back saying that I wasn't going to get that one because I've already got these and I'm perfectly happy with it, and really the only difference is there's 2 more movies and the earlier ones are slightly remastered, but the ones that are slightly remastered are also on Blu-ray, so I'd rather just get the Blu-rays. However, one of the big differences with that set versus the ones I have is there's no flipper discs. Yes, this is still from the day when Universal was using flipper discs, much to everyone's dismay. Now that said, I don't have a lot of playback problems with them, but if I see that big set going for, a cheap price, like maybe a Black Friday deal or something, or a Boxing Day deal, I might actually grab it just because, just to have those extra movies in, guaranteed playable form. And of course to have the 2 extra movies as well. They're ones that I rewatch sufficiently that upgrading to a more reliable version of the set isn't unreasonable, Well, what can I say? I know hindsight is 20/20, right? Like at the time I was like, what the fuck? Why are they releasing these again? Why don't they just put them all on a Blu-ray? Well, I think the simple fact of the matter is the other than the sort of core main like 8 movies, the later ones, there isn't enough interest in them to warrant doing the Blu-ray editions. So it's very possible that DVD is all we will ever get of those. So fuck. Alrighty, that is it for this edition. We'll see you next time. I'm going to yank off the box sets here, and we'll take them. That didn't sound too good, did it? I'm going to yank off the box sets. I'm going to yank the box sets off the shelf. How's that? That's a little less double entendre-esque. Entendre-esque? Yes, anyway. So that is it for this edition. Big thanks to my Patreon sponsors, especially Kyle Pellegrini and Get Your Gorgeous On, the always awesome e-mag from Michelle O'Toole and Simon Hedger. Thank you very much, guys. Really appreciate the support. And everyone else, please do consider becoming a Patreon sponsor because it all goes right back into the show. You will be helping the show very directly and, injecting your support straight into it like a flu shot. Alrighty, that is it from me to you for now. So until next time, thanks for watching, and sayonara. Greetings, everyone, and welcome to the final shelf. Not the final video, but the final shelf. Yes, an all standard fuck. Now I'm gonna keep messing it up. Now I'm just gonna keep fucking messing it up. I recorded all the intro segments and forgot to turn on the camera. I recorded the audio, so I have like the radio play version, but I forgot to turn on the camera. See, I do all these intro segments in one long take, and then I do the shelf segments in one long take. So yeah, it's annoying when I fuck things up. All right.